This is the Rays POSTCAST, your instant game reaction to the Tampa Bay Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to a victorious edition of the Rays POSTCAST, your instant spot for Rays reaction after every single game. My name is Jonathan Shields. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Johnny10Shields, being super active over there. We're back in the old setup. Obviously, there'll be no Wi-Fi problems today, but I will have to say, I hope my sister's in here. Shout out to my sister. As you guys see the background behind me, I was not in town when the Rays did their crazy sale at the Trop. My sister was. So if you guys see, I got a Eovaldi bobblehead. If you're on podcast, you usually have to trust me. I have a Eovaldi bobblehead. I already have that Jake Odorizzi one. We have a Pete Fairbanks bobblehead. We have a Evan Longoria one. We have another Eovaldi one right there. So yeah, definitely a big shout out to my sister if she's in it. And you know what? Just because my sister said it, sorry guys, I never go off camera. I also got this skateboard that I'll be putting up as well. I had to say that for my sister who commented. But let's get to Rays baseball, shall we? Because I thought this was a really important win for the Rays to bounce back like they did because the Rays have not lost back-to-back games in what feels like a very, very long time. That's a little bit of an exaggeration. So obviously they won that. They haven't lost back-to-back games since May 18th and 19th to the Marlins. And I think that is just, a huge for this team. But in this one, we're going to break down that big sixth inning that gave the Rays a separation. We're going to talk about how Junior's still hot. We're going to look at the rotation as a whole and how is it on fire. We're going to look ahead to how the Rays can win a series tomorrow. But first, we're going to talk about just how good is Drew Rasmussen.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Drew Rasmussen is scary good. He's now up to 23 straight innings without allowing a run. How does 5 innings, 8 strikeouts, only 1 hit sound? Because it sounded pretty good to Drew Rasmussen because he was just fantastic tonight. And him, just like everyone, had to deal with pretty awful umpiring today. Drew, I've never seen a pitcher throw 6 strikes in one at-bat like Drew did in the very first at-bat of the day. So, of the game. But, so it was a really good tweeted out, and I believe his Twitter is Rays Metrics, and he does super good stuff. He definitely got to follow. And he tweets out, since Drew got acquired by the Rays, which was in May of 2021, he has the lowest ERA in baseball, minimum 300 innings. Ridiculous. That ERA is a 2.61. I mean, we instead of saying is Drew Rasmussen the best pitcher on the Rays, is Drew Rasmussen the best pitcher in the American League? Is Drew Rasmussen a top 5 pitcher in baseball? That's the question that needs to be asked right now. If Drew Rasmussen is not an all-star, it would be a war crime. That is the type of level that Drew Rasmussen is at right now. I've been on the train that the Rays deserve 2 all-stars, and they will get them if they keep playing this way. But what Drew Rasmussen has done, he is now 3rd. I believe that's the graphic they put up in the consecutive scoreless innings pitched. Just ridiculousness from Drew Rasmussen. I mean, he's just been ridiculously good. And I mean, he never gets into trouble. He didn't walk anyone. He hasn't walked anyone during this stretch. He has walked 3 people in his last 4 outings. I mean, look, I know what Scooble's doing with the Tigers right now is otherworldly. But what Drew Rasmussen is maybe a half step behind him. That's the level he's at right now. And like I said, this probably isn't going to get viewed nationally, but I will be on the bandwagon for Drew Rasmussen to get more respect nationally until it happens. And when it does happen, of course, I'll take all the credit. And if he falls off, I will take none of the blame. But I think he's been just ridiculously good. And he has kind of, when he's done this stretch is when the Rays started playing on this streak. Guys, the Rays have now won, is it 10 of 13 now? I lost count. So, they lost back-to-back games against the Marlins. That was the last time they've lost back-to-back. Since then, they lost to Houston. So the last time they lost back-to-back was 18th, 19th to Houston, Miami and Houston. Since then, they won, obviously, the 6 in a row. 6 of 7, 7 of 8, 8 of 9. Whatever, I'm not going to do it on stream. I should have done it before. But, I mean, the Rays are playing the best baseball of the season, and they look to have the consistency. That's why I did the title of the thumbnail of they get back on track, because that's what they did. And I'm always waiting or not waiting, but seeing if the Rays are gonna kind of step off the wagon a little bit, right? If one loss will lead to 3, if one loss will lead to 6 losses in 8 games, but it's not right now. They're getting back on track to keep winning 10 and 13, and then maybe it'll be 15 and 19, and they just keep on chugging along right now, because what they're doing right now is very, very good baseball. But let's get to that 6th inning where we have our turning point of the game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Also, if you guys are in the comments or in the live, make sure to leave a comment. Do you guys agree with my takes on Drew Rasmussen? Am I a little too over the moon about him? Let me guys know in the comments. Any other comments you guys have, also leave a like. And our turning point was that big 6th inning. And I put in my notes, the Rays need to take advantage here, because the Rangers pitcher, Molly, who's been one of the best pitchers in baseball, he was charged with 4 runs. That's the most runs he's given up in a start this year. That's how good he's been. And it started with Yandy Diaz. And I thought Yandy Diaz had his best at-bats in a while from the Rays. Him and Jonathan Aranda, I thought were very, very good, because, Yandy ended up getting on base 3 times. Aranda got another 2. Man, Aranda's still hitting 324. Just ridiculous. And, they bring in Latz, who immediately throws a wild pitch on, like, literally his first pitch, which I thought was a little funny. And then the Rays, the Rays kind of scored here the Rays way. They didn't have the big home run. They didn't have that big bases clearing, bases loaded clearing double. They scored on a wild pitch. They scored on an infield single, and they scored on a little league double steal that literally little league players run. So really, really funny to kind of see that. But doesn't matter how they scored. It's they broke the game open in the 4th. And I thought it before that, or it might have been right after that. When did you say it come in? You said it came in right before that. I thought his out was really big, and he continues to stack really good performances, one on top of the other. So, and then obviously in the 8th inning, we get Junior Caminero just continuing to be on fire, and that is where we're gonna get to our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
So again, I'm going to do a co-player of the game, because obviously the first player of the game is Drew Rasmussen. But the combination of Yandy, Aranda, and Junior, 3, 4, 5, I guess it's cheating, but that's my group of the game, because ever since they moved Junior down to the 5th spot, I don't know if you guys noticed this, Junior has, and credit to Josh Love for being able to have them move Junior down to the 5th spot. He's seen better pitches. The pressure's off him a little more, and he is contributing in a massive way. That's why that group is my players of the game. Sorry, I'm cheating, but I'm hyped for the Rays, man. I mean, this is what they're doing right now is they're playing such good ball. And guys, they're back to 500 at home. With how bad they were for a stretch at home, the fact that they're back to 500 in a homestand after they're so bad in a homestand plus a game, that is insane. I mean, I cannot say enough good things about this team and Kevin Cash and this whole organization as of now. But we're going to talk about Junior still being on fire and how good this rotation has been right after this. This episode is brought to you by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site made for skilled trades. Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest project info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you always talk to a real person. And we guys know with all the AI nowadays, talking to a real person is a huge plus. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. This episode is also brought to you by Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO for giving you visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on silly things like food delivery or even these apps that I was just spending money on that I didn't need anymore. But because of them, now I budget smarter and save more. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. And with code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for half off your first year. So again, guys, we have one more segment to get to. Then we're going to get to the comments. So any comments you have about the game, if you guys are watching the replay, make sure to leave a like and comment and subscribe as well. Make sure you guys leave them there. We will be getting to them right after we talk about this rotation and cannot talk about them enough. Obviously, Drew Rasmussen is the headliner. But tomorrow, the Rays get Shane Baz to the mound. And he talked about his slider a little bit before the game. Evan Klosky tweeted it. And, he's saying he doesn't want to go away from it because he likes when his catchers call the game, all that stuff, whatever. We'll get to that a little bit later. But who's pitching the last game of the series is Ron Pepio. And his scoreless streak, I believe, is either at 16.2 or 18.2. It's one of the two. And then you look at what Zach Littell just did, just through the first complete game since 2021. You look at what Taj Bradley's doing. Oh, he just went 7 innings with no earned runs, just 1 run and 10 strikeouts. Yeah, this Rays rotation is the best staff in baseball right now. And I said this. You guys heard me say this a month ago when I said this rotation is underperforming. And now this is what I thought they'd be. Honestly, this is a little bit better than I thought they'd be. Obviously, because no rotation can sustain this through 162 games. But they have been ridiculously good and they have been healthy. And that's a big thing now, especially with McClanahan coming back after the All-Star break. So they're going to have to go the next 6 weeks at least without Shane McClanahan in the role. And they are not just kind of rolling along with him. They are just blowing the doors through any expectations, not expectations, but where they were before and to where they are now. They're not just surviving without him, they are thriving. But let's get to the game tomorrow. So again, this was the toughest pitcher the Rays were going to face. Tomorrow, again, another 7:35 start. It'll be against Kumar Rocker. And this is a game the Rays should win. Kumar Rocker is 1-3 with over an 8 ERA. His whip is almost 2. He's only pitched 20 innings this year, just 16 strikeouts in those 20 innings, was actually a fairly good number. And again, the Rays will counter with Shane Baz, 4-3 with a 4.92 ERA, 1.3 whip. Shane has been better as of late, but let's talk about Kumar Rocker. He's just coming off the injured list, but he did have his best start of the season, ironically, against the Rays in a 4-3 win for the Rangers, who went 5 innings, 6 hits, just the 1 earned. And in that game, let's take a look at some hitters who had success. Yandy got a hit. He doubled. Brandon Lau got an RBI. He also singled. Aranda got a hit. Morel, Misner, Magnum, and Walls all got hits in that. So a lot of guys outside of Morel and Walls probably will be in the lineup tomorrow. So again, tomorrow the Rays should have the starting pitching advantage. They have the lineup advantage, maybe not on paper, but what the Rangers have been doing kind of recently with their offense is just really perplexing me. But like I said, the Rays will counter with Shane Baz, who went 5 2/3 his last time out against Houston, 7 hits, 3 runs, gave up the 2 home runs. Remember, his last start, he kind of faded fast. But the start before that, he went 5 2/3, 4 hits, 1 run. So, but other times, he's given up 5 runs or more in May last month 3 times. So we can't have that in Shane. We need the Shane Baz that we know that he can be. So, yeah, it's like I said, I think Shane Baz's stuff is ridiculous. If he can get to it, his delivery just looks so easy and free. So hopefully tomorrow is a big step in the right direction for him, getting stuff back on track. But now let's get to the comments. So we go to Jack's takes first. He said, let's go. Can we get Junior's hitting coach to work with the rest of the team, please? A lot of the rest of the team is hitting, but no, I see your point. Whatever Junior's hitting coach came up and did has been kind of working wonders for him, as he just continues to just kind of chug along and keeps on hitting. As we go to Gary, says another great pitching performance from Raz, 4 straight scoreless start, 1 hit allowed, 8 strikeouts. Could we say ace and all-star for Drew Rasmussen? Tell you what, we're definitely saying all-star. And if Drew Rasmussen is not an all-star, MLB will be hearing from me. I will say that. As we go to Luke, he says, what a great game by the Rays from start to finish. Nice to see Kelly have a clean inning. That's something I did not mention. 100% nice to see Kelly have a clean inning. He really extends his bullpen depth. Rays need to extend Junior ASAP. yeah, I mean, I would love to see it. Gary talks about Misner and Magnum in offense, but they are also very good on defense. As what I love Legos, who's back from Orlando, I believe is what he said. He says, "Good evening. What a comeback win after being pounced by Houston the last game." Yeah, and he also says the Rangers are like the new Seattle Mariners of the Rays. Now, if we could sweep them, that would make my day. Yeah, I mean the Rays more in Texas, they can't beat them, but thankfully this game is in the friendly confines of Steinbrenner Field. And as Mike goes, this is a really good point. I was listening to the broadcast. I was listening to the radio broadcast. I don't know which broadcast you're referring to. When Caminero hit the home run, it is a different sound off his bat. And it's honestly incredibly impressive, the stuff that he can do with that bat speed. As we go to Stu Weinstock, he says that Jonathan Aranda and Junior Caminero are rising stars poised for greatness, making a strong case to become first-time All-Stars this season. Hey, you have no arguments for me. The Rays are having, if you told me before the year the Rays would have 3 All-Stars, I would think that Brandon Lau, Josh Lowe, and Yandy Diaz would at least be 2 of them. So the fact that those 3 are probably not going to be All-Stars and the Rays could still have 3 guys playing at All-Star caliber, not that Josh Lowe isn't, but, he missed that time, so it'd be tough. So, yeah, it speaks to the depth and the roster building by this team. As we go to Gary says, according to our guy, Evan Klosky, the Rays ranked 3rd in defensive runs saved this season with 36, only behind the Rangers, ironically, they play today, and the Braves. But, is that a surprise? That's what the Rays have done kind of since this era. So, they prevent runs and they score timely runs and they pitch some really good some really good ends like they have been recently. As we go to Mike, he says, "I'm worried we'll trade a pitcher away." I don't know. I don't think they will unless they start losing. I don't know if the Rays. I mean, obviously they have depth, but you can never have too much pitching depth. So I know Littell's on last year of his deal, so we will see. As we go to It's Cat, he says Drew's so underrated. I don't know how he doesn't get talked about as a sleeper Cy Young. He might after this start. I mean, playing with the Rays doesn't help him in Tampa, but I mean, it is what he needs. As we go to Frank Shields, he says, "How about Kameron Misner? Talk about a capable field in center field. He is playing excellent defense, and that's something that, again, I listened to a lot of the radio broadcasts today, and that's something Andy and Neil talked about. When was the last time he got a bad jump on a ball? 5 weeks, probably. I mean, he has been fantastic. Gary talked about the Blue Jays and Red Sox both lost tonight. And trust me, we are keeping track of the AL East. So thank you for putting that in. So that means the Rays are back in sole possession of second place in the AL East. I'm not sure how the Yankees did today. I assume they're still out west. The Rays are 6.5 back. The Yankees won today against Cleveland, but Cleveland's a tough team. But anyway, Rays only 6.5 back. As we go to Hunter Parks, again, I always like to shout out the new commenters. He's said, "My buddy Misner Rookie of the Year." I think he got a little bit of work for that, but he's definitely been a fantastic addition. As Hunter goes, he's definitely next one. I'm telling you, I mean, when you play great defense, and his home run was only like 88 miles an hour off the bat, but I just hit it in the perfect spot. I am a Cam Misner fan. The Rays are dealing from a position of depth for that. And as we go to I Love Legos, any news on Pistachios? And yes and no. I mean, he didn't have a setback, at least. Like DeLuca had a setback, so hopefully he's back kind of soon. Later, as we go to Gary, says perhaps this is the way to go with the lineup. 2 Laus, Yandy, Aranda, and yeah, that's gonna be the top 5, 6 out of the 7. Like if the Rays play 7 games in a week, that'll be the top 5, 6 out of the 7 days, unless they play a lefty, which they don't do until Saturday of the Marlins series. If I looked correctly. So again, if you guys are in the live, make sure to leave a like. We'll get to a few more here. I love everyone joining live after a big one. A lot of comments too. I will try to get to them. As we go to Aaron Smith, during Junior's hot streak, seems like he's playing better third base. Yeah, that barehanded play he had in the first or second inning, fantastic. I 100% agree with that. Confidence is a funny thing. If you start feeling confident in one area of the game, you'll start going on all of it. So let's see. Let's look around here for a few more. This is a very good point from Gary. The Rays do not have to face Jacob deGrom or Nathan Eovaldi. Eovaldi was supposed to pitch today. I always like to see ahead and see who the Rays are going to pitch. That's how I know the Marlins are throwing a lefty on Saturday, unless things change between our last few episodes. But Eovaldi was supposed to pitch today, so I don't know what's going on with him. I mean, he is a Rays killer for sure. And we'll go to Mike. We'll kind of wrap up on this one unless someone puts one in while I'm reading this. He said, "How well the rookies are playing the outfield. I don't even think about Pistachios or DeLuca." Yeah, Pistachios will be nice because he is, he played in the one game and he was great. And then, DeLuca, it's weird. I was never the biggest DeLuca guy. I'm a fan of him, but I'm more of a fan of him in a fourth outfielder role, not as your everyday center fielder. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Rays do when they come back. But, it doesn't sound like DeLuca's going to be back anytime soon. It seems like he really messed up his shoulder. So, again, I'll give it another second to see if any more comments come through. But it is encouraging to see the team playing like this. And, again, the thing that I saw and I talked about, the Rays not losing back-to-back games during this stretch has been huge. And it proves that they're playing good baseball, because in baseball, 162 games, you're going to lose games. You're going to lose split frustrating series like they did in Houston when they outscored them like 30-3 or whatever the number was. But them be able to flush that, have the off day, and come back and really be in control of the entire game against still a talented Ranger team is really, really good. Let's go to It's Cat. He says, out of Bilal, Yandy, Pete, and Littell, who's most likely to get traded. If the Rays keep playing like they are right now, then none of them are going to get traded. Out of any of them, I would probably think Pete Fairbanks has the most value. But I don't know. It's a question I don't want to answer. Maybe that's a better question if the Rays are like 5 games under going into that trade deadline. But right now, I think if the Rays keep playing at this place and they get to 6 games above 500 at that trade deadline, all of them will be on the team. As we are going to wrap it here, guys. We've gone a little bit over, but that's fine. So I appreciate every single person being in here. Make sure you leave a like and comment and subscribe. And I hope to get all you guys back in here tomorrow night, hopefully after the Rays get a series win. If you're listening to the replay, come join the live. It's a lot of fun. As you see, we got a lot of guys just hanging out. As we go to Gary real quick, any news on Hi Some King? No, but he's going to play shortstop on Thursday, which is encouraging, which is going to be cool. So anyway, we'll end it there. Appreciate everyone in here for joining, and we will see you guys tomorrow night.